What's going on, y'all? It's Michael Reacts TV back here with yet another reaction. Today's video, we're going to be reacting to Cocomelon, the most evil channel on YouTube. Cocomelon seems like an innocent animated channel, but when we peel back the layers, you realize that Cocomelon has a hidden dark side. That's crazy, because if you think about all the kids who watch Cocomelon, and now they're talking about there's a dark side to Cocomelon. That's crazy. That's crazy. But we're going to check it out. See if there's any facts to it or not. Now, me personally, I've never seen Cocomelon. But I know of little kids, my family, those who I know who I'm friends with, their children and things of that nature. They watch Cocomelon. I can't say, I don't know. I never seen the show, never took time to actually watch it to see what's going on. But considering how sick kids have been going about this show, it wouldn't surprise me. You see it all over the internet. Kids go sick over Cocomelon. Now, I never seen the show itself, so I can't really speak on it. But looking at evidence of how kids act when they can't watch Cocomelon, I'm just saying. So let's find out if this is really the most evil channel on YouTube right now. So we ain't gonna waste any more of your time. Let's get it go.
My son is almost 2 and I've been letting him watch Cocomelon, but now I had to get him speech therapy so I can get him to talk. There are hundreds and hundreds of anecdotes in which parents mention the exact same problem. The Cocomelon show is so insanely addictive, it's being compared to nicotine and causing developmental issues amongst the kids who can't stop watching. Children's
Lord.
TV expert Jerica Sands calls it the most damaging show a child can watch, explaining the sneaky ways in which they make the show addictive. Firstly, there's the colors. Take for example the wheels on the bus. The 3 main colors, blue, green and yellow, are all at maximum saturation, meaning they cannot be made any brighter no matter how hard you try. Extreme saturation is normally used for alerts and notifications, as it's exciting, dynamic and attracts attention, which is why it's also used in slot machines. Cocomelon puts these colors in perfect contrast, making them appear even more vibrant, which
But you know what's crazy? It's crazy how they do that even with everyday stuff. Not even just this show, but they do it with everything. Like they show the slot machine. Can we go back to that?
Dynamic and attracts attention, which is why
it's like they use it even with slot machines. They do it every single day, y'all. It's not just in these little baby shows. They do it all around us to try to attract and all that other good stuff. And then influencers use it for their videos and things like that. So, is that a bad thing? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. But it depends on how deep this goes. Now, going on what they've been talking about, how literally there's a percentage of kids who speech delay and it's a damaging show, that raises some concern. But I'm just saying. But, sorry, I had to put that out. Let's go back to
even more vibrant, which is different to, for example, Bluey, in which the colors instead blend together. Cocomelon's also different because it's highly repetitive. There's a reason they have 38 videos with over 1 billion views. A child's brain is wired to learn through repetition, so it feels right to them to watch the same thing over and over again.
That's true.
Cocomelon abuses this in almost every video. For example, in the Yes Yes Playground song, they pick a word to repeat 3 times in every sentence, pairing it with a subtly repeating background lullaby, keeping children hooked. Literally no show or movie puts my son into a deep trance the way Cocomelon does. The second it's on the TV, he turns into a toddler zombie who doesn't see or hear anything else that's going on in the room. This is only exacerbated by Cocomelon's subtitles, which have also been a heavy point of criticism. The letters are not educational, I can barely read them fast enough. It's simply another interesting element to capture your little one's attention. Cocomelon explains in every description, our goal is to help make learning a fun and enjoyable experience for kids, giving you the peace of mind that your children are receiving quality educational content. But people have argued that they're teaching exactly what children shouldn't do. For example, in the No No Bedtime song, the baby refuses to brush his teeth, have a bath, put on pajamas, or get in bed. The education is that he eventually agrees to do so, yet a TikTok user was critical, stating, anytime I'd ask my son to do a simple task, he'd say no, no, no. He's sitting there watching Cocomelon, which taught him no, 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 and just say no to me. On the topic of education, Jericho-san stated, these people don't give a shit about our children. They care about money. That's it. Your child's cognitive development in direct exchange for their wealth, and there's pretty good evidence supporting.
And we gotta remember, people, they're gonna say anything that they can to try to get you to be like, yes. But at the end of the day, they are about their money. They are a business at the end of the day. They don't care nothing about your kids. They just want your kids to watch the show. That's about it. Now, what they do with the show, they're going to figure it out. And they're going to do whatever they can to make sure your kids are attracted and focused on that show. But the damage effect is, as you can see, is crazy. That's crazy, y'all. The song literally goes, no, no, no. I don't want to get in bed. I don't want to brush my teeth. I don't want to do this, da 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 da. And then if you look at it, it's no, no, no to everything else. But then when it gets down to the end where it's like, oh, he does it. You don't see no more no, no, no or anything like that. It's not like, yes, 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 I'm in bed. No. It's literally the part that they point out is the no, 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 no. So then when your kids catch on, like, oh, we can say no. Like, oh, this is like, oh, we have a choice. I'm just saying. It's not looking good, Cocomelon. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. I'm being honest. If I were you, if you're a parent watching this video, for some reason, stop letting your kids watch TV. When I was coming up, we was watching Blue's Clues, Veggie Tales, Barney, wholesome kid shows. Like, get them into that stuff. Like, matter of fact, get them away from TV. Play with a toy. Teach them the alphabets. Do something that's going to make them develop their brain. You know what I'm saying? Speech delay, that's because their brain is not being developed. Teach them some stuff. Teach them how to talk. Get them away from... The problem is people have gotten too lazy. Stop putting your kids in front of TV because you got other things you got to do. Teach your kids. Cocomelon shouldn't be teaching your kids. You need to be teaching your kids. Yes, I'm talking to you. You've been slipping as a parent. I'm sorry. I love you. And I'm saying this in love. But you've been slipping. Snatch your kid from the TV. That's your kid. Ain't nobody gonna do your kid like you. Snatch your kid from the TV, from the game, from the cell phone, and you sit him down or her down, and y'all do some alphabets. Y'all do something. Read a book. Like, go outside. Everybody wants to stay inside. Go outside. Do something productive, is what I'm saying. Then you'll start to see those numbers go down. But, that's how that happens.
A New York Times journalist visited Cocomelon's studio, discovering their number one focus is keeping children hooked. Cocomelon's data and analytics team sifts constantly through YouTube numbers to determine exactly what resonates. Should a girl wear black jeans or blue jeans? Should the music be louder or softer? Should the bus be yellow or red? Yellow is the answer, as they use a darker method to ensure that they're correct. Cocomelon has a dedicated Distractotron room, in which once a month children are brought here one at a time and shown a handful of episodes to figure out exactly which parts of the shows are engaging and which are tuned out. Next to the TV playing Cocomelon, there's a second screen which plays a continuous loop of banal real-world scenes. A guy pouring a cup of coffee, someone getting a haircut, each lasting about 20 seconds. Whenever a youngster looks away from the Moonbug show to glimpse the Distractotron, a note is jotted down. We can see what they're looking at and the exact moment when they got distracted.
Wow.
Therefore, education clearly isn't the primary goal.
Right.
Keeping kids' attention is, and this is proven by Cocomelon's most addictive element, rapid camera cutting. It's crazy how many times the frame changes on Cocomelon. It's the same type of addicting behavior that we experience on a TikTok binge. It's the quick change of frame that releases that dopamine and makes the videos addicting to watch.
Right.
Count the seconds between a change of frame. Well, TikToker the Circus Brain did exactly this. He firstly counts the changes on My Little Pony, concluding there's about 6 seconds between
Stick to Sesame
each cut.
Street. Yeah,
He then
Sesame
compares
Street
it
was
to
where it's at.
Cocomelon.
Those who grew up on Sesame Street,
2,
let me know. Comment
3,
down below.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1.
In her video, The Nightmare That Is Cocomelon,
Wow.
Savantix draws a similar conclusion. She found that 96% of the shots in Baby Shark were shorter than 2 seconds. She then compares 4 different animated shows, again finding Cocomelon has the shorter shots.
The longest shot on a Cocomelon video was 6 seconds. The longest shot on Arcane was 8 seconds. The longest shot on Bluey was 27 seconds. And the longest shot on Encanto was 18 seconds.
Which, when combined with every other element, creates some terrifying statistics. Dr. Kristen Summer explained that when showing an infant normal video content, they'll focus on the screen just 11% of the time. However, when the video is instead switched to Cocomelon, their screen engagement skyrockets to a whopping 74%.
Wow.
This therefore produces stories such as this. I used to volunteer for a preschool and they had song time. A Cocomelon video came on, and all of the tots stopped what they were doing, put down their cheese crackers, and remained fixated on the screen for the duration of the video. It was honestly kind of terrifying.
Wow.
YouTuber Saberspark shared his own personal anecdote. He asked to watch a Disney movie with his 2 younger cousins, who both completely refused, and instead spent all day glued to an iPad playing the addictive show. In Cocomelon Made My Kid a Zombie, a mother talks about her son. He would be in a daze while watching it. You could be waving your hand right in front of his face, and he wouldn't move. It was almost scary. This was
crazy.
also discovered by Sarah Mills 98, who explained when the Cocomelon addiction is so real that my 1-year-old can navigate the TV to turn it on by himself. However, nothing shows the addiction better than the Cocomelon TikTok trend. Parents will play the show's intro loudly and video their kids sprinting toward the television,
see, and that's what
where
I was
you can
talking about.
witness their mood change instantly.
Like,
The New
literally.
York Times journalist found something similar. The kid in the Distractotron had shown up in the midst of a tantrum, which ended the second he heard the Cocomelon theme song. It was no surprise to Wheeler, the head of research. 99% of kids, he said, if they're having issues when they get here, once that Cocomelon song comes on, they're like, life is okay, all is good with the world. Obviously, there's a reason for this. Cocomelon is so hyper-stimulating that it actually acts as a drug, and what happens when you take the drug away. Young children experiencing symptoms of addiction and withdrawal, obviously leaving them completely dysregulated.
Right.
TikTok user ThePoff1 filmed what happens when you take the show away, explaining he'll be inconsolable for at least 10 to 15 minutes after,
That's
adding in the
bad.
description, Cocomelon meltdown is legit.
That
Once you
is
have a taste of
crazy.
the cocoa, it's hard to break the addiction, which
Notice it's in the name. Coco. It's in the name. Bruh, it's in the name, man. That's crazy. But it's like you see it all the time on TikTok and everything like that. It's like kids really be going sick for Cocomelon. Like, for real, for real. I don't know what it is. I mean, I know what it is because it's like they've been saying. It's fast paced, colors, 3D, wording everything's appealing. And it's like a drug. It's like dopamine. It's kind of like the person says, like, you know, how we scroll mindlessly through TikTok watching video. It's the same thing. And it's crazy. But it just shows you, whereas a people, we need to stop being so glued to our tech devices. And Read a book. Go outside. Enjoy civilization. Experience life a little bit. It just shows you how far we come as a people and how much we truly do rely on TV and electronics. And it's kind of scary because say they take that away from us. But we won't get into that conversation.
Reddit user had experienced even worse. My husband and I have been worried about our child. I can slowly see how she'd throw violent tantrums at home and in church whenever she'd get bored and would want to watch the show. Her behavior changes the moment she watches the show, and she will not even eat her meals if she wouldn't watch it. After these tantrums end, kids can experience a general discomfort in the speed of everyday life. The more they watch the show, the more their brain begins to expect this intense level of stimulation.
Basically, Cocomelon overstimulates their brains so much that everything else just seems slow and boring in comparison.
However, the potential consequences get much worse than this. As mentioned,
no kidding.
As mentioned at the start, it was the cause of a child's speaking problems, with a notable reply reading, "Same thing happened with my daughter too. She's 4 but can't speak properly. She knows the words, but she does not like to frame the sentence or speech. She has been watching these Cocomelons or such other stuffs for 2 or 3 years. Hope we're not too late." Over on Reddit, a speech-language pathologist explained, "Screen time in general is linked with speech delays for a variety of reasons, but Cocomelon is excessively bad. Firstly, unlike other TV shows or movies, it doesn't have a story. It's just very short clips with poorly written songs. The kids aren't able to follow the plot, learn vocabulary, and see the resolution of a conflict, supported by infant specialist Meg Fora."
And the problem with fast-paced TV programs is that we find that little one's language development is slower.
On the Agents of Speech YouTube channel, this is again confirmed.
The main problem with watching videos on the internet is that they don't know how to use the language that they learn.
But he adds that 4 to 5 hours of screen time per day can make a toddler completely non-verbal. 4 to 5 hours is obviously a lot of time, but in Cocomelon Made My Kid a Zombie, researchers discovered that 5-year-olds who watch more than 2 hours of TV a day tended to have lower attention spans and were 7.7 times more likely to show symptoms of ADHD. These screen...
That's crazy, y'all. 7.7 times? That's crazy. America, that's our fault. That's our fault. That is our fault. Watch more than 2 hours of TV. Why are kids watching more than 2 hours of TV? Are you really that busy with your life that you can't spend time with your kids? I understand you got things you gotta do. I understand you're busy, but you should never be this busy. 2 hours of TV? 2 hours. You can't take that 2 hours and try to instill something in your kid, play with them, teach them something that they'll remember for the rest of their life. Let them go outside maybe. And it's like another thing with them watching TV all day, it's not good for their eyes. You know what I'm saying? Then you see why people are wearing glasses more. It's like, you know, I mean, look at me. Coming from real life testimony, I used to watch TV a lot. I used to be all up on the screen like this. Now, it wasn't as bad as how these shows are, but I was still. My mom used to tell me to back up from the TV all the time. Look what I'm wearing. I mean, thank God I wasn't dealing with this kind of mess. But even when I was coming up, they were trying to say I had symptoms of ADHD. Same thing. They tried. I didn't. But do you get what I'm saying? Do you see how the simple things, we can make these changes, y'all. It takes us to just say, you know what? We just gotta be aware. Like, okay, my kid's been on this thing for some good amount of time. Let's detach. Okay? No, let's detach from that. Let's go do something. Spend time with mommy. Spend time with daddy. Go do something else other than doing that. Just things to do. I'm just saying, let's just look at these numbers and start getting pissed off, y'all. 7.7 times more likely to show symptoms of ADHD. We have to start getting mad. We have to start saying, you know what, let's make a change. It all comes down to us. It's not the kids' fault. It's our fault. That's our fault, America. I'm just saying.
7.7 times more likely to show symptoms of ADHD.
Our
Their screen
fault.
times might be even lower
That's
for
not,
Cocomelon.
that's not their fault. They're making money. They're doing what they're supposed to do. They're spending time with their kids. They're making sure their kids ain't watching the show because they know what they're doing. But you, who's on the end of that tail? You. I'm just saying, let me stop talking.
Specifically, because as explained by Jerica Sands, not all screen time is created equal.
Nope.
A child who just watched 30 minutes of Cocomelon and a child who just watched 30 minutes of Trash Truck will look like a very, very different child. Thankfully,
why is
here
that the
lies
case?
a simple solution. Sierra Renee explained my 2-year-old is speech delayed and addicted to Cocomelon. Switched to Miss Rachel 2 days ago, and he's already saying more words and hasn't had any tantrums. Kim.it shared an almost identical anecdote. My 8-month-old was obsessed with Cocomelon and having bad tantrums, so I cancelled Cocomelon and only let her watch Miss Rachel, and she said her first word within the first 3 days of watching. Clearly, parents are able to simply change the channel, but not before leaving Cocomelon a massive amount of dislikes. They've therefore earned the title, The Absurdly Popular Kids Show Parents Hate, and Cocomelon has actually responded to the criticism that explain our shows are not intended to replace outdoor playtime or playdates. They have a place in children's entertainment time, and as with food, exercise, etc., it comes down to each parent to find the right and appropriate balance for their children. Our responsibility is ensuring that the quality of the content that we produce is high and beneficial for the development of a child's cognitive and soft skills.
And it's like, in a sense, they aren't wrong. Hear me out. They're not telling you how long you should keep your kids in front of the TV. Let's be clear. They're not saying, oh, you should keep your kids in front of the TV for like thousands of hours or 2 hours, 3 hours. That's what I'm saying. It all boils down to us people. We got to say, okay, they're only going to watch for this amount of time. And as time goes on, you decrease so that it gets to a point that they don't even want to watch TV. Because as they get older, you know, TV is not going to be a thing. You know what I mean? It's, you know, things are not how it used to be. Like me, I don't really watch much TV myself. I'm saying a lot of times I'm on my phone, or that's about it. I don't really watch TV like that like I used to. Because I just, you know, because I'm active, I'm busy, I'm doing stuff. And that's what it takes us to do. We have to be active. We have to stay busy so we don't get comfortable with just sitting in front of a screen all day. It takes us. I'm not going to rant about it, but I already said it. But y'all, it's like they kind of said it without saying it. Like, listen, our goal is to do this. Our goal is not to make your kids addicted. They're addicted because they're watching too long. And who's allowing them to watch it too long? Us. That's all I'm saying. So they're not telling you, oh, keep your kids in front of TV all day long. Da, 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 da. They're not gonna raise your kids for you. You gonna raise your kids. You gotta raise your kids. Just saying. I'm done.
It is worth adding that our social media communities are filled with stories of parents who experience firsthand how Moonbug content helps their children. Cocomelon does have a crazy amount of supporters, but it's obvious that some of them are simply ignoring the downsides. My baby learned the alphabet and numbers from Cocomelon. She may not speak a complete sentence, but she expresses her wants through phrases.
And for some people, this thing helps. So, is it a bad thing? I think it depends on, number one, how you look at it. Like in this case. Number two, how long are you allowing your kids to watch the show? Like, are you allowing them to just watch it for long periods of time? Because I feel like the kids can learn something from the show. I think. I would have to watch it, I guess. Let me not say that. I would have to watch it. But for them to say that their baby learned the alphabet and numbers, it's like, that shows that there's something that you can gain from the show. But I think where people get mixed up or messed up is they let the kid watch it for too long without watching it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think parents take the time to actually watch the shows themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, Is this something I need my kids watch? Like, you don't see that no more. They kind of like a lot of parents nowadays. They just let the kids watch stuff because it's just like, oh, this is a kid show, or this is a kid without really going through and seeing, oh, let me check this out. Like my parents back in the day didn't let us watch everything. They checked stuff. They were like, something like when we were coming up. I'll give you an example. When we were coming up, and it's gonna sound kind of ridiculous, but that's just what it was. When we were coming up, we couldn't watch SpongeBob. We couldn't. That was just, as we got older, we were able to watch it. But when we were younger, like little kids, we couldn't watch SpongeBob. And it's not so much SpongeBob was super duper bad, but it was just certain things we couldn't watch. So we got to get back into that space too, y'all, where it's like, listen, this, we're going to say that for later. You can probably watch that when you get a little older. We're going to stick to this. Or stick to things that's going to teach your child stuff. Instead of putting on Cocomelon, put on a video that's educational, that's going to teach them how to say their ABCs, their 1, 2, 3s. Something that's going to, not Cocomelon. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Cocomelon should be like a treat show. You know what I'm saying? Like, not something that they just watch. You know what I'm saying? They need to train their brains. You know what I'm saying? They're young. They need to develop. Put on something educational. Like, really educational. Like something that's like you saw in the video. They changed it to a whole different video where the lady's teaching the little kids how to say their ABCs. The child started speaking within a couple of days. So, like I said, I think it all boils down to us making the right decisions in the right direction. Not so much their fault. It is in a sense. I'm not saying they don't have no play in this because they know what they're doing. But at the same token of time, it also boils down to us people. Okay? Now I'm done. I'm gonna let it finish.
But is it Cocomelon's responsibility to ensure that babies are talking? Well, no. People love blaming cartoons and games for raising children, and not the shitty parents that don't step in to stop them from watching so much. Cocomelon is actually a really sad symbol of parents giving their children tablets instead of actually parenting and interacting with them. Ultimately, parents are the people who choose how much their child consumes.
What did I just say? What the heck did I just say? So that should confirm what I've been saying. It just takes us who are parents, I'm not a parent, but those of y'all who are parents, interact with your kids. Teach them yourself. If you don't want them watching, you sit down and teach them how to speak. You teach them how to do certain things. Absolutely. Why not? You got plenty of time. Do what you got to do so your kids can go in the right direction and be the kids that you want them to be. Just saying. This is a good video. Very good video. You know what I'm saying? Because it hopefully opens a lot of people's eyes to be like, maybe I need to spend more time with my kids. That's honestly what I got from this video. If I had kids, I need to spend more time with my kids because these shows getting crazy. And honestly, if you look at a lot of our kids shows these days, they are getting crazy, y'all. I would, if I were you, as a parent, I ain't a parent, but as a parent, like a man speaking to you as a parent, I would check these shows that these kids are watching. I mean, really check them. Like, watch them yourselves. Watch a few episodes you have to. And make sure that that's what you want your kids watching before you put your kid in front of a TV screen like that. But if you want to go the better route, just come on, people. Interact. Parent them. Spend time with them. Take them outside. Do something that will engage their mind instead of this crap garbage that they're giving us every single day. That's all I'm saying, y'all. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Listen, for all the parents out there, you're doing a wonderful job. Keep it up. Keep it up, all right? I'm not trying to discourage you. Love y'all.